clock at 22, 2:22 to go. Here's Poobie to Willis at the top. Willis thought about going through a screen. They get in the middle of the floor, right to Copeland. Back to Willis with 14 on the shot clock. Willis stripped on the way up, tips the ball out to the right side with 9 on the shot clock. The kid back out to Poobie, 7 on the shot clock. Poobie, quick pass to Copeland. He couldn't handle it. 3 on the shot clock, 3 on the way. Woo!
Bang, bang, Sugar Ray Willis.
By Ray Willis, 73-67, and this place goes nuts.
That was a huge shot. That's a scramble possession and a lot of hustle right there.
Time out. Gravel Craig. Ray Willis with his biggest shot of the night. That gives him 11 on the evening. Seconds to go. They get it in the middle to Poobie. Poobie up to Willis. Willis, he'll take it all the way in. Slam this one home, and the Eagles will take this one and move to 17-7 on the year. 81-75, the final score. The crowd enjoying this one. Joe, your thoughts?
It's a big ball game. We needed every bit of this, and it was good. It tested our souls, our hearts, and our wills to compete. We know that we won't get pushed around now against teams that like to get physical, and it was a great example of a good basketball and staying together. And even though the cards may have been stacked against you a little bit as far as the crowd goes, you know, we were able to hang in there and do what we needed to do to get the victory.
Big win for North Carolina Central, 81-75. The final score. Boy, oh boy, it was a tough one. And the crowd will go home happy once again. They are 9-2 at home this year. Head coach LaVelle Moten has just earned his 56th career win, 33-13 at home. They have tied the series with Bethune-Cookman.
Have a lead, but still ain't guaranteed nothing.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be about. That first half was tense and emotional. You know, it was closely officiated, and I thought, you know, some people were throwing some elbows and so on and so forth, and, you know, I got off the handle a little bit because I felt like that elbow was intentional, and I felt like it came from another place, but that's neither here nor there. And I tell them, you know, y'all worry about basketball, but you like my kids, if anybody puts your hands on you, I have to react, especially if I feel like it's out of context of the game, and I felt like it was no place for that. But, you know, such is life, man. We men, and that's how we get after it every day. So the second unit came in, and we kind of lost a 17-point lead, and you know, Poobie got caught up in emotion. He get a tech. That's a big play, and now momentum swing in their direction. So as I told the kids, we just had to grind it, man. Every time we play Bethune, it's going to be a grind. It's going to be this type of game. They know what we're doing. We know what they're doing. So, you know, toughness from the 6-minute mark on is normally going to win a basketball game.
How concerned were you when you had to pull Poobie after he picked up his forward?
Really concerned, you know, because that's our glue. But, you know, we got confidence in Jameer, and I stay on those guys. I coach the second team in practice harder than I coach the first team because I know these opportunities will present themselves, you know, because foul trouble, that's inevitable sometimes, you know. Somebody may not have a flow, so, you know, we have to go to our bench, and they have to step up and provide some willing opportunities and perform.
Back in the first half, were you telling the refs that number one, Coleman, was he talking to you a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, he came by the bench, you know, and that's what I mean, you know, and so you got to nip that in the bud because what happens is, you know, it becomes like a street ball game. You understand what I'm saying? That's what the referees are out here for, to control that. I thought they did a good job of getting it under control, but, you know, that's typical fashion of him. You know, that's not the first time nor the last time he gonna do that, you know. So my thing to him, I'm a grown man. You just are not gonna say any and everything to me on my bench. You play the game, young fella. You're talented enough to play the game and let your talent speak for itself without all the other extra antics. And what happens, it fuels and it sparks someone on my team, and they're going to protect each other. We're a family, and before you know it, everything is blown out of proportion. So it's critical in these games that the referees get it under control immediately, and I thought they did a good job of taking care of that.
Thanks, Coach.
What kind of things was he saying?
I can't even repeat it on camera, but it's one of those things. He hit a shot and, some profanity coming off. That's just what type of player he is. And, I'm with that, but you're not going to say it to me, or my team. That's just disrespectful. And our team, we're not going to lay out. We're not going to roll over. We ain't thugs. We're not tough guys. We're going to come out here and just compete. But, we're men first, and we're going to protect our home. So that's what we did.
Last game, you were pretty upset, the FAMU game.
Mm-hmm.
Were you a little more impressed this game or pleased?
Yeah, it was just the effort. I thought we were disrespectful to the game of basketball last game, to the crowd. We have a blue-collar crowd. These people go out there and work blue-collar jobs every day and pay a good amount to come see this team play. So they invested money for their entertainment, and we cheated them out of their dollar. I told our team that. You cheated them just because of your effort. So they deserve better. Our fans deserve better, and hopefully they got better tonight. It was a lot of noise in here and a different type of energy because these kids came, we got to go back and have one of them gauntlet practices where it get Coach Carter type and get real ugly. So I got their attention, and they came out and responded.
You got a big game from Jeremy Ingram. Talk about his play a little bit.
He carried us. When Ray had his 2 silly fouls and Stanton follow up with his 2 silly fouls, then now, and then Poobie got his silly fouls and his silly technical foul. Now we're missing 3 experienced guys out there, and Jeremy really carried us through that time, and that was big. That was critical. That was probably the difference in the game.
He's been that type of player all year for you guys. I mean, did you kind of expect that from him?
Who, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we expect greatness from him. Anything less is, we're going to call you out and hold you accountable. He's a talented kid. He's still learning the game. He still has to learn how not to take plays off. I think he tried to coast, and to his credit, he was tired, probably. He didn't close out in the second half, but he played 40 minutes, and, we asked him to do a lot of things. So, it's not the Jeremy Ingram show. The unique thing about this team is each night is someone different. And he's probably our most consistent performer on the offensive end of the floor, but, it was just fortunate for us tonight. He was able to step up and carry us.
And how were you able to trust Poobie? In the last 5 minutes of the game, he had 4 fouls, and he could potentially get another foul. How were you able to, trust him and know that he, won't let you down and not get another foul and potentially foul out?
Well, as my coaching philosophy is, he can't take that foul home with him. So, let's ride the horse or dance with the girl that you brought to the dance. So I brought him to the dance, and he's experienced and he performs in those situations. He's smart enough to know not to foul anyone. It was uncharacteristic of him early on in the game to get a couple of those fouls, and such is life. That's going to happen sometimes. But he responded. He was smart enough to not get in there and mix it up and get his 5th.
You're probably looking for that.
So you dropped a career high 32 points tonight. What was going right for you?
Really, I was just being more aggressive because our other guys got in foul trouble, so I had to be more aggressive. And then the result of that, my teammates got me open, and I was able to knock down shots and score the ball.
Really, really hot atmosphere here tonight, man. I mean, I would say the loudest this gym has been all season.
Yes, we're playing well, so I guess the fans want to come out and support when you're doing good. So you just got to keep it up, and hopefully they'll keep it up.
Appreciate it, man.
Last game was pretty sloppy. What did Moen emphasize in practice, and how were you guys able to regroup?
Really, he just said we weren't playing NCCU basketball, which I don't think we were. We came out flat, and we don't usually come out flat. We usually come out aggressive and start the tempo, and that's what we did tonight.
How tough was it in that first half? Obviously, a lot of stuff going back and forth. How tough was it for you to keep your head in the game?
It was kind of tough, but, Coach, in practice, we always go at each other. And, when the team is down, he always tell us to stay poised, and that's what we had to do tonight to come out on top.
All right, and for you, what does this win mean for you guys? Obviously, it keeps you in pace with Norfolk State right now. You guys are contending for a MEAC championship. How much do you guys talk about that?
Well, we just try to win every day, and then I think this win was pretty big because it was a close game. We had to grind it out, and that's what we had to do, so that gets us ready for later on.
And this is a shot that I work on pretty much every day with my coaching staff, and I just stepped up and knocked it down. I thank God for being able to hit that. So